What if the person you trusted the most, the one you built a life with, was living a secret life that would shatter everything you believed in? Tonight, we dive into the heartbreaking story of a devoted husband who discovers the unimaginable. His 40-year-old wife, a respected manager, has been having an affair with a 17-year-old boy she was supposed to mentor. Betrayal. Heartbreak. This is not just a story. It's a raw journey into the depths of trust broken beyond repair. Welcome to Breakup Cheater, where real stories cut deep and every twist leaves a scar. From love to betrayal, heartbreak to redemption, we bring you raw, unforgettable tales that reveal the darkest and most fragile corners of the human heart. If you crave stories that make you feel, think, and never forget, you've come to the right place. I knew something was wrong the moment I saw the text message light up her phone. It wasn't the words that unsettled me, it was the tone. Casual, playful, far too intimate for anyone who wasn't me. "You free after practice? I miss your smile." It was a Tuesday evening, rain pattering softly against the windows, the faint smell of dinner still lingering in the air. Emily was in the kitchen, humming to herself as she rinsed dishes. My wife of 15 years. My partner. My best friend, or at least that's what I believed. I stared at the message, my heart pounding so hard it felt like it might punch through my chest. The name attached to it was one I didn't recognize. Ryan. Just Ryan. I put the phone down, face down on the table, and sat there, frozen. My mind began pulling at threads I had ignored for months. Her sudden late nights at work, her new mentorship program she had been so enthusiastic about. Her frequent mentions of the local high school sports team she was helping out with as a volunteer. I told myself not to jump to conclusions. There has to be an explanation. But my stomach churned with something I hadn't felt in years: fear. The next few days were a slow-motion nightmare. I started paying attention. Her phone was always turned face down. She laughed at messages she never shared. Her perfume lingered on her clothes when she returned late. One night, as she showered, I finally gave in to the gnawing suspicion and opened her phone again. There it was, an entire thread of messages. Ryan was 17, high school senior, someone she was supposed to be mentoring through his college applications. But the messages weren't about scholarships or essays. They were about stolen moments in her office. About how exciting it feels to do something dangerous. About how he made her feel young again. My vision blurred as I scrolled. There were pictures, not explicit but intimate. Her hand in his at a coffee shop. A blurry mirror selfie of them together, faces close. My chest felt hollow. I sat there in the dim glow of the bathroom light until I heard the shower turn off. I put the phone back quietly and crawled into bed, staring at the ceiling until morning. Confronting her wasn't easy. Part of me wanted to scream, to throw the phone in her face and demand an explanation. Another part wanted to pretend I didn't know. To live in the illusion a little longer. But I couldn't. Not when every word she spoke sounded rehearsed. Not when I could smell lies on her skin. It was Saturday night when I finally asked. We were sitting on the couch, a movie playing unwatched in the background. "Who's Ryan?" I asked, my voice steady, almost too calm. Her head snapped toward me, eyes wide for a split second before she masked it with a frown. "Ryan. He's just one of the kids from the mentorship program." "Why?" I didn't blink. "Because I've seen your messages." Silence. The kind that swallows sound, the kind that presses on your chest. She opened her mouth, closed it, then whispered, "You went through my phone? That's what you care about?" Asked, my voice breaking now. "Not the fact that you've been seeing a 17-year-old boy behind my back?" Her face crumpled, then hardened. "It's not what you think," she said too quickly. I laughed. Bitter, hollow. "Then what is it, Emily? Enlighten me. Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like my 40-year-old wife is sleeping with a teenager." She didn't deny it. "Not really." She said words like "it just happened," and I felt invisible, and he made me feel alive. Each one was a blade twisting deeper. "You felt invisible," I said, standing now, my hands shaking. I worked 2 jobs to help you get that promotion. I cooked, I cleaned, I showed up for you every damn day. And you felt invisible. Tears welled in her eyes, but I couldn't tell if they were from guilt or because she had finally been caught. I didn't mean to hurt you, she whispered. That's the thing, Emily, I said, my voice low. You didn't just hurt me. You humiliated me. You destroyed us for, what? For a thrill. She reached for me, but I stepped back. The space between us felt like an ocean now. The weeks that followed were a blur of cold nights and colder conversations. She moved into the guest room. I filed for separation. Friends called, confused, asking why she wasn't coming to gatherings. I didn't tell them. How could I? There's a special kind of loneliness that comes from betrayal. It's not just about losing the person, it's about losing the version of them you believed in. The Emily I married wouldn't have done this. But that Emily was gone, replaced by someone I didn't recognize. I thought about Ryan a lot, strangely enough. I wasn't angry at him, not really. He was a kid caught in something way over his head. I wondered what this would do to him, to his future, to the way he saw women, relationships, love. Months passed before the legal proceedings began. She wanted to reconcile at first, sent messages late at night. Can't we fix this? It was a mistake. But I couldn't unsee those texts. I couldn't unhear the way she said his name. We met once in a cafe to talk things through like adults. She looked tired, older somehow. Her hands trembled as she stirred her coffee. I miss us, she said quietly. I stared at her, at the woman I had shared half my life with, and felt nothing. Just the hollow ache of something that had already died. You didn't just cheat, Emily, I said. You chose him over our vows, over everything we built. And you chose someone who still has braces on his teeth. She winced but didn't argue. The divorce went through 6 months later. She lost her job, of course she did. The school found out and then her company did. It became a scandal, whispered in the break rooms and posted anonymously online. I didn't celebrate her downfall. There's no joy in watching someone you once loved burn their own life down. I just moved on slowly. Some nights, I still wake up reaching for her. Old habits die hard. But the bed is cold and the space beside me is empty. I don't know what happened to Ryan. Maybe he went off to college, tried to pretend it never happened. Maybe he's still untangling himself from the web of her attention. As for me, I'm learning how to start over. How to rebuild trust in a world where it can be shattered so easily. People ask if I'll forgive her someday. I don't think forgiveness is the right word. Understanding, maybe. Acceptance. Because betrayal isn't always about hate. Sometimes it's about broken people making broken choices. And sometimes, love isn't enough to put them back together. It was late one autumn evening when I packed away the last of her things. A box of photographs, a sweater that still smelled faintly of her perfume. I drove to her sister's house, left them on the porch, and didn't ring the bell. As I walked back to my car, the wind rustled the leaves, cold and sharp. I felt the weight of the past year lift, just a little. This wasn't the ending I wanted, but it was the one I needed. And for the first time in months, as I started the engine, I realized I wasn't driving away from something. I was driving toward something new. Betrayal doesn't always come from enemies. It often comes from those we hold closest. In the end, this husband learned that healing isn't about forgetting. It's about moving forward, stronger and wiser. What would you have done in his place? Share your thoughts below. And don't forget to subscribe for more true, powerful stories of love, loss, and the resilience of the human heart. Until next time, this is Breakup Cheater, where every story leaves a mark.